Give me a home out in the bush, please, and lots of groceries, a bung or two. Me make wild roost and skunk out the back. I go in the shed and the old smoking shed.
G'day, welcome to the Terpene Table, where cannabis culture meets cultivated conversation. I'm your host, Wild Roo, grower, guide, and your mate in the garden. Each episode, we dig into the roots of the plant, from terpene talk to cultivar deep dives to the stories shaping the cannabis scene. So, roll one, pack one, pour a cuppa, and let's hop to it. You've probably heard the mango rumour. Eat one before you smoke and your high hits harder. That's not just stoner myth, that's Myrcene doing its thing. G'day, and welcome back to the Terpene Table, where cannabis culture meets cultivated conversation. I'm your host, Wild Roo, your mate in the garden, and today we're diving into one of probably the most talked about and misunderstood terpenes in the cannabis world, Myrcene. Whether you're tuning in from your grow tent, your lounge, or you're halfway through a sesh, I'm glad you're here. So pack it up, light it, relax, listen. Let's hop in. What is Myrcene? Let's start with the basics. Myrcene, spelled M-Y-R-C-E-N-E, is one of the most common terpenes in cannabis. You'll find it in heaps of strains, especially those with more relaxing, calming effects. Scent-wise, Myrcene gives off this earthy, musky aroma. Sometimes a bit herbal, sometimes a bit fruity, even spicy, depending on what it's paired with. If you've ever cracked open a jar and copped a smell that reminds you of fresh cloves, damp bushland, or herbal tea, that's probably just Myrcene saying g'day. But cannabis isn't the only place you'll find it. Myrcene naturally occurs in mangoes, lemongrass, thyme, basil, and even hops, which makes sense, considering how many beers give off that similar funky, earthy kick. In cannabis, Myrcene is often linked with that couch lock, heavier, more sedative effect. Some folks reckon it's the main terp responsible for the chilled out feel you get from classic indica leaning strains. The mango myth. Now here's a fun one. The mango theory. The rumour goes, eat a ripe mango about 45 minutes before you smoke, and you'll get a stronger, longer lasting high. Is it true? Well, sort of. There's a little bit of science behind it. Mangoes are high in Myrcene, and there's a theory that Myrcene helps THC cross the blood-brain barrier more efficiently, meaning it could intensify or speed up the effects of your session. There's not a truckload of hard clinical studies on it yet, but heaps of anecdotal reports say yeah, it can make a difference, especially if your body metabolizes cannabinoids a bit slower. So if you want to give it a crack, go for a nice, ripe mango, then just chill out for about half an hour, then light up. Just don't blame me if you end up glued to the couch watching koala documentaries for the next 3 hours. Medicinal potential of Myrcene. Myrcene's not just about the high. It's got some real potential when it comes to wellness. Studies have shown it may have analgesic, anti-inflammatory, and sedative properties. That's why it's often thrown around in medical circles, on your labels of your jars and your medical packaging, especially for people managing chronic pain, insomnia, or anxiety. And then there's the entourage effect, the idea that cannabinoids and terpenes work better together. Myrcene, when paired with THC or CBD, might help enhance or guide the effect. And that's the beauty of whole plant medicine. It's not just one compound doing all the work, it's the whole symphony, it's the orchestra, and Myrcene is a key player. Myrcene Strain Guide. Now, if you're keen to try some Myrcene-rich strains, here's a few classics to keep an eye out for. Granddaddy Purple, heavy, relaxing, grape-flavoured chill vibes. Mango Kush, fruity, smooth, and true to its name. Blue Dream, a nice, balanced hybrid with a hint of calm. And OG Kush, well, earthy, dank, and still one of the kings of the crop. One of my personal favourites when I want to wind down is from Forbidden Flowers. It's their Crystal Cluster. Rich in myrcene, smooth on the exhale, and just puts you right in that mellow zone. If you're shopping at a dispensary, medically, online, check out the terpene profile. Some flower and carts these days actually list the myrcene content. So aim for anything over 0.5% myrcene and you'll really start to feel it do its thing. And now it's time for news from the garden. Alright, it's time to have a quick peek over the fence at what's been going on in the wider world of weed. Because whether it's breakthroughs, busts, or bureaucratic chaos, the cannabis garden is growing fast, and the news never sleeps. TGA cracks down on cannabis advertising in Australia. Australia's cannabis industry is under fire, and it's not from consumers. The TGA has stepped up enforcement against what it calls unlawful advertising of medical cannabis. And now it's taking some big players to court. One of the main targets, Montague Group, and its clinic brand, Alternaleaf. You might have seen their names briefly appear on the Dolphins NRL jerseys, but now that logo is making headlines for a different reason. The TGA has launched federal court action accusing the company and its director of breaching advertising laws, like promoting terms like plant medicine and medical cannabis online and in marketing. And it's not just them. Over the past 2 years, the TGA has issued 165 fines totaling more than $2.3 million, going after companies, clinics, and even media publications. Media outlets like Body Plus Soul were fined over $50,000 just for publishing articles with links to cannabis clinics. So, what's the big deal? Under Australia's strict rules, medicinal cannabis is prescription only, and that means you can't advertise it to the public. No testimonials, no treatment claims, not even subtle hints. Saying your clinic offers plant-based treatment for anxiety might just land you in hot water. This crackdown sends a clear message: don't blur the lines between health information and promotion. Whether you're a clinic, a content creator, or a business in this space, it's time to audit your words and your website, because the TGA is watching and the courts are now involved. Stay tuned for more on this story as the case against Montague and Alternaleaf heads to trial. The outcome could set the tone for cannabis communications in Australia for years to come. Next week, we're flipping the script and talking about limonene. Citrusy, uplifting, and perfect for the morning sesh. You don't want to miss it. Until then. And just like that, that's it for this session at the Terpene Table. Cheers for pulling up a chair and tuning in. If you like the yarn, share it with your crew, leave a review, or drop into the Discord at Wild Root Cultivars to keep the convo growing. Until next time, Keep it lit, keep it grounded, and keep gardening.
Give me a home out in the bush, please, and lots of more trees, a bung or two, me make wild roost and skunk out the back. Hide her in the shed and me old smoking shed. Give me a home out in the bush, please, and lots of more trees, a bung or two, me make wild roost and skunk out the back. Hide her in the shed and me old smoking shed.